CMC, for the people, by the people, and to the people. Citizens Movement for Change. Oh yes, a new day has come. Yes, a new day has come. Rise up, Liberia. CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better life. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better life. Equity, national unity, transparency, accountability, social justice, integrity, CMC core values, CMC global. It is a new day for Liberia. It is a new day for the people. Let's hold together. Let's hold together. It's a unity. Raise up your hands. CMC. The land of liberty, the land of freedom, the love of liberty brought us together. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, yes, 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 the time has come.
Okay. Hello everybody. I am here. I want to just say hi to everyone who's watching us. I'm sure you can hear me. I'm trying to add myself to the stage. I don't know. Okay, let me see. Okay, great. Here we go. Um, it's good to be here today. Today is Thursday. And I just love to come here to talk to all of you. We have a very interesting show today. We'll be talking about CMC news. We'll be talking about some national news that's happening in the country. But I just want to thank all of you for being here and supporting this platform. Uh, we'll be here every day for the most part. Yesterday we couldn't be here because we got word that the kind of meet was going on, and I believe Liberia was playing another African country, I believe Morocco, and so things were going to be late, and a lot of our audience were going to be there, so we didn't want to disrupt the whole, show by having our audience have to divide themselves by here and watching the show at the same time. So that is the situation here with us. I'm expecting other panelists to join us in the name of Mr. Fofana. Mr. Smith Toby will join us. Miss Vicky Sendulu will join us. Sendulu Zulu will join us. Am I forgetting anyone? But anyway, there's going to be a myriad of panelists that's joining us. But first of all, I just want to welcome you and tell you thank you for being here. I just switched my device, so I can't see some things. I can see some things. I just want you to know if I don't recognize you or if I don't call you, That is why. For some reason, my other device that I usually use was it's taken long for me to log on, and so I had to use another device that I have to do so. But I'm just wondering, how are you doing in Liberia? I hope you are well. I know it's late. It's about 11:30 in Liberia, so some of you, today's Thursday, you already went to bed, or perhaps you toss and turn in your bed, thinking about tomorrow. Perhaps some of you are getting ready to go out. Some of you, are strolling around. Some of you are just getting some cold breeze. I don't know, but whatever it is that you're doing, I hope that you are doing it well, or I hope that you are at peace as are praying about what it is that's on your mind. And I'm sure that everything will be okay. With time, everything is okay. So whatever it is, um, just stay prayerful. You know, I used to tell my kids that I stay on my bended knees. Luckily, knock on wood. Another thing that we tend to say in this part of the world, knock on wood. Uh, they are okay, and I'm okay. Um, I want to welcome all of you from the different parts of Liberia that's listening to us. I want to thank all of the uh, producers. Some of the producers are relaying our program in Banga, in other parts of the country. And I want to just say thank you for doing so. I'm checking to see if any one of the panelists just emailed me, or we having technical problem with them getting on the show as well. That uh, I'm just checking because last I checked, I didn't hear from anyone. Okay. Okay. I know Henry just texted me, say he's on. Henry, you're on, but I'm not seeing your face. Is there any news that you guys would like to discuss that relates to Liberia before we go into our regular play of news? Um, we're on the radio. I want to welcome all of those people who are also listening to us by way of radio. I want to welcome Christian Ne. He's watching us from Bowman County. I also want to welcome Makari Kazulu. He's watching us from Kipman County, Robertsport, Kipman County. I have a strong affiliation and strong heart when it comes to, well, heartwarming feelings, let me put it that way, when it comes to Kipman, because my father in the Chenoweth are from Kipman County. I spent a lot of time in Kipman as a young person, and also when I travel back to Liberia, I usually return to visit my grandfather, Papa Ningo, we used to call him. Nico Charles Chenoweth is buried there. He's buried in the St. John's Cemetery, in the Episcopalian Cemetery. Kipman is very funny. They have the Methodist Cemetery, they have the Baptist Cemetery, and they have the St. John's Cemetery. So I usually, over the past couple of years, we visited the cemetery. I know it sounds strange to you, but cemetery is a really good historical place to go to. If you want to know a history of a place, a history of your country, just go in the cemetery to see the names of people who have died and how long it's been, and when they were born. You can go, and I usually do that. I see these names and I wonder about it, how important, what do they contribute to our society, or the era of the day, if I see a cemetery, like I know my grandfather, uh, he died in the 60s. I think I'm maybe 64 around that time. But he was born for the early part of Liberia in early uh, time. I don't recall the exact date, but I know that I can definitely go back and check out the history of Liberia by looking at the grave sites and the birth and death of different important people that are buried there. So I know it sounds strange. It sounds very, very, not a pleasant conversation to have, but that's what usually happens. Um, I was hoping that Ansu and Henry could join us. Maybe there's something again that just to give us some of the happenings in the country. I know they're in the back. I know they're hearing me. I don't know what's going on today, but I would like to know. I know there's lots of things that's going on in the country, lots and lots of things that are going on in the country. We know that the current topic has been the pause that the United States government put on immigrant visa, and there's a lot of confusion about it. So, I'm going to take an attempt to talk about this. Hold on, let me just. Yes, so definitely, let's take an attempt to talk about this. So, some people believe that the pause was the result of um, what Louis Brown, our current UN representative, said at the United Nations. Um, with the way how the world is going right now, and the way how foreign policy, the United States foreign policy has changed a lot. It went from respecting all human rights and dignifying persons, all people, to now, in my view, respecting human rights is very selective. Um, and so, and we know that the manner in which Donald Trump has worked over the past couple of times that we have observed and we have seen him in the news, he tends to be a very transactional leader, which means basically he listens and he respects people who either you in his status or you have the same views. And we know that recently uh, the representative Louis Brown at the United States was very supportive, in my view, of human rights and respecting the rights of people in Venezuela. He called for, and let me just, I know I wrote something down as I was listening to him. He definitely called for an inclusion, making sure that we include the Venezuelan people in uh, running of the country, that they should be included. So, in some ways, people will say that he did not favor Donald Trump's view of of how he wants Venezuela to be. And if you're a transactional leader, if you vote against my view, definitely I will come back to you know vote against your interests as well. So some people are saying that. I personally, I don't know, because there's so many uncertainty in the world right now. I really don't know what makes leaders, primarily in the United States, besides power, turn right now. One of the things I think that we neglect to speak about is that Venezuela has a lot of oil, and who controls the oil in Venezuela will actually have a lot of control over the world today, because everybody depends on oil. And for what we now know, history can tell us that um, a lot of people, I mean, China basically um, were one of the most one of the most country, one of the buyers. China was one of the buyers. Let me put it that way, a significant buyer of Venezuela oil. And this is something what United States didn't feel comfortable with having China so close to their door, having a lot to say about the oil in Venezuela. So if United States can control the oil in Venezuela, that means that it control China's uh, access to oil. And it's about power, it's a power play. So I'm not sure if, well, we as Liberian, he representing three, Louis Brown said he was representing three countries. I'm not sure if our position on, Venezuela uh, was the best decision, considering the geopolitics of the world right now, considering the leader that we have for one of the worst superpower, which means considering the leader in the United States. Um, so we're gonna have to wait and see. But to be clear, the immigration pause is on immigrant visa. It's on the people who won lottery and who will be sending for their loved ones or their siblings or the children to join them. It's on people who came to the United States, they want to send for their children, they want to send for their husband, they want to send for the mother. That is on pause. If you here and you got your citizenship here and your children are underage and you want them to join you, that is on pause. And the United States, the reason why they said that they are putting a pause on the immigrant visa is that they wanted um, they wanted to do an inventory of who was abusing the welfare system. They said that certainly about 75 countries on the list, not just Liberia, people were abusing uh, the welfare system, which means that many persons, many citizens of different countries, including Liberia, would come to the United States and they would abuse the welfare system. Now, it can be argued that, oh, there are other countries who abuse the system more. But, when you live in the United States have the right to decide whether they're going for a country 50% who abuse the welfare system 50% of the time, country who abuse it 80%. They can pick and choose who they want to put at this point, who they want to put on the list of countries that that they are pausing their immigration process right now. So for me, that's not my argument. Okay, my argument is to be able to explain to Liberian people this: when we speak about immigration visa, um, we're speaking about husband who came to this country, they got the citizenship, they want to file for their wives to come, the wife, husbands want to file for, their wives, one wife, but I'm saying husbands. So they want to file for their significant others to come and join them. So definitely that's a pause on that. Husband and wife who's here, and because they didn't have the money to bring all of the children all at once, and so they wanted to have the children join them, that's on pause. If you're here and you won the lottery, the DV, and you came and you want to have your children join you, that is on pause. Or you want to have your husband or your mom join you, that is on pause. That's what it means. Is it related to what happened at the UN? I cannot say that for sure. There's a lot of uncertainties around this. My recommendation to our government is we should focus on building our country first. We should focus on uniting, making sure that Africa and African as a people, they are strong, they're able to build a country so that people wouldn't want to leave instantly or all the time to travel to the United States and overstay their visa. We had a problem of overstaying our visa. We have a problem of being on, although I'm not going to say that, welfare consists of so many things, okay? Um, welfare, it consists of so many things, social security, medical benefits, financial cash benefits, corporations that get government funding in order to continue the operation, their own government welfare. So it, to me, is not just somebody getting cash value or seeking help. And if the system that is in the United States that helps people who are vulnerable, fine. That's what the country used to be. That's what the system used to encourage. However, we see a switch is in the system at this point. So with this switch that is in the system, we have to abide by the new law. And so if they want to, let's say, take a pause and do their revamping of the laws and what have you, we have to, we have to obey and comply. There's a saying in our country, in Liberia, when your hand is in the leper mouth, you can't say too much. You have to be very, very slow as you take your hand out. And that is the situation that we find ourselves in. Um, give me a second, okay? Let me just see where I know some of my colleagues are supposed to join me. I'm checking my phone to see perhaps if they call me or anything, and I'm just kind of chit chatting until they start the show. I mean, until they come here before I start the show. I'm sorry. Let me just call. Okay, yeah, I'm back, and I'm sorry. I was just calling some of my panelists to see where they are, because I know that we get time is far spent, and we have a lot of topics to talk about today. So that is the situation with the immigrant visa. Number one, I cannot tie the decision of the United States. I cannot tie this decision to uh, the pause, the decision at the United Nations. What Louis Brown said regarding Venezuela, I cannot tie that decision to the United States immigration decision to pause immigrant visa. I cannot do that. I don't know. The world is so uncertain right now. The geopolitics of the world is very uncertain. Uh, I know, but I can tell you that I know that we have a transactional president. Some people describe him as you do me, I do you. Yes, we have seen him do that in the past. He likes people who, if you favor him, if you work, and he will tell you that, straight up. He doesn't lie about that. He will tell you that. He is seeking to make America first. I know that for sure, because in his announcement, the reason why he's putting a pause immigrant visa, he said he wants to make sure that America benefits from their welfare system and not other immigrants, people who are coming to the country. He wants to, and the question then one can ask, who is an American? And that's what I'm asking. But again, that's here, no there. Um, there's a lot of things for us to talk about today. We can talk about the CMC news, which I like to hold for later. But we can talk about also what's happening in our country. We already just talked about what happened from a geopolitical perspective, regarding to where Liberia fare. And my point is, when we can take more than $6 million to build some peace conference in Foya in our region, and knowing that schools need to be built, roads need to be built, uh, healthcare needs to be built. Okay, do you know what $6 million can do for our people in Liberia? I want you to think about this. Do you know? I sit down, and for some reason I'm stuck on this. Yes, maybe many of you will say, well, I'm stuck on this $6 million. That tells me that our government has the money. Okay, our government has the resources to make Liberia a better place, so that many people will not want to leave the country. But do they have the political will? Are they usually playing politics with Liberians? Is that why that we can develop as far as other regions in the world? And so it hurts me. I'm just hearing about $6 million to build a peace conference in Foya. Can you imagine what else do they do with money that we don't hear about? So it is very concerning when that happens. It's very concerning to me when that happens. Um, we could build a factory, you know. If you do your work, some people have done. I've done preliminary research on this. $2 million could build a factory. We could put this factory in Birmingham Hill. You could put it in, Margibi, because you could put it in Monserrate County. $2 million. Okay. And what that factory would do, it would solve one of the number one problems that we have. Okay. One of the problems that we have is that people need jobs. Our people are not working because there are no jobs. We know that certain people continue to work within the government. The government is a major employer. Yes, I agree that that is the case. But does everyone have the capability of working with the government? Can the government employ everyone? No. What the government needs to do is to build factories, build places and things to hire our people. For example, agriculture. Agriculture. We know that a lot of people are working in the country. And the kind of work that they do relates to agriculture. A lot of people have small farms, small gardens, and stuff like that. So we could help amplify, we could boost them. We could provide funding for them. And we could build a factory. For example, people keep playing small rice farm, small rice farm. Have a big factory where they can come, just like we do with the rubber industry. Or many of the people who, the small rubber companies, the rubber farms, rubber company, they make the rubber, and then what they do is to take the rubber from their farm and take it to a bigger rubber farm, maybe Firestone, to then they sell it to Firestone, and then Firestone sell it to the outside world. We could do the same thing. We can get these small farms in different areas. Rice farm, cassava farm. I have a farm. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, we could then take farming cassava, farming rice, then take the products and then take it to a factory for production. Liberians will be working, and that's what we need at this point. I want to just take this time to welcome Christian Snare is here. Makari Kazulu is also here. Thank you for being here. Jefferson Twe is also here. Thank you to Jefferson. Prince Soma is also here. Saliki Tour is here. Honorable Josiah Ware is here. He's following from District 5, Botuo, Nima County. Thank you. So that's what we're talking about. Our people need job. Our people need job. That's all. So this is why I'm hurt when I hear about the money that is taken to go build peace conference when we're not even at war in the region. Okay, although we want to be proactive, but that kind of proactive was prioritizing a peace conference or prioritizing the people of Liberia. That's what it appears to me. But let's move on to what's happening in the CMC world. We know that the president, I would like to call him the president, the political leader of the CMC also left. I'm going to play a quick video for you to see. It looks like my partner, my other panelists are not joining me on the show today, but I'm going to add this video for you to see. Our CMC was leaving out. Have my thoughts on the video. Okay, So one of my best part of this video, let me just also tell you, I'm a little bit disjointed tonight because, of course, I'm here alone. I didn't plan to be here alone, but it's okay. And I was planning on another way of doing the show, but it's okay. I'm very flexible. I can adjust. And I also thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Um, Let me also tell you too, one of the best part that I like about this PL, if you notice, there was not a big scene at the airport. A lot of times when people are traveling, our visitors are traveling, they're, big shots, and there's tons of people at the airport and all of this stuff. This is how he travels people. And I really like the fact that he was carrying his own bag. This is to tell you that it's not that the political leader can travel on his own, or with people or whatever, but this is to tell you that this man, he carries his own bags. Okay. And it tells you the humbleness that is in the political leader. Now he was leaving Liberia to travel to the United States. He's coming, and I will tell you here what I know. He's traveling here. He's going to be attending a conference, a sit down dinner, basically, and meeting with some top government officials of the United States. He's going to be doing that. And I like to also insinuate that this weekend and next week is the birthday of Martin Luther King, a very, very well loved leader in the United States. He fought for civil rights. He was a civil rights leader. He fought for civil rights in this country. He fought for the African American, black, brown, purple, whatever person you are. I said purple, right? That's right. Whatever person you are, he fought for you to have the same rights as a white person in the United States. He had a dream in his speech. He had a dream speech. He said, one day I dreamed for a black child to sit next to and I'm just paraphrasing, a white child. So he was a civil rights leader in the United States. And so I am insinuating that the political leader will be here meeting with several people who fundamentally believe in dignity, the rights of others, and good governance, which is what a lot of people want for Liberia. We want to see good governance in our country. We want to see the rule of law carried out in our country, because if you do these things, if we see good government and we see the rule of law in Liberia, we'll begin to benefit from it. That everybody will be treated fairly. We will not continue to have this have and have not system. The have system is where certain people benefit from the resources of the country. They are called the big shots, and then the have nots continue to just remain where they are. They are stagnant. There's no growth. They are suffering. Today I believe I saw a video, and I know that I recorded that video. I wish I'm gonna play it probably over the course of the week, where a Liberian woman was talking about how she's suffering. I had two of CNCmers, and they were very objective on this show. They came on and they were talking. They were in Liberia during the Christmas season, and the country was hard. They said that things were hard. People were not buying as they normally would, and I take the word of Jeremiah Cohn, our vice president, who has said that the country is hard. So the political leader is going to have a discussion with leaders in this country. He's going to be talking about, human rights. He's going to be talking about respecting the dignity of people. He's going to be talking about integrity. He's going to be talking about how government should operate for the people, by the people, and of the people. Okay, that it should not be when in this 2025 we are still taking yay or nay votes, yay or nay votes in 2025, 2026. Let's say we are in 2026. I'm sorry. We are still taking yay or nay votes in our country. That is lacking transparency and accountability. Transparency and accountability. And so, this is what our political leader will be in discussions with some of the leaders of the United States. And they are going to be focusing on discussing issues relating to the world at large, but particularly about Liberia. The world as we stand right now, people are focusing on how they can develop their country. People are focusing on their country first. And do we blame them? No, we can't. Okay. Unfortunately, immigrants and Black and brown people contributed to the development of other countries. We know that. History tells us that. However, though, the point where we are in history, everyone um, should put their country first. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about us Liberians putting our country first. Let's talk about obeying the laws. Let's talk about advocacy. Let's talk about civil rights in our country. Let's talk about civic, like making sure that we go out there and vote. Okay, making sure that we express our opinions, making sure that we are involved in the politics of Liberia, as opposed to sitting there and saying, "Okay, let leave that thing there that the people think." No, how Liberia grow is everyone's business. What we do today, what we do tomorrow is everyone's business. How we act in Liberia today will affect Liberia over time. I when my father was alive, and he and I we have this conversation about Liberia. Um, and Liberia is all that we have. Liberia is what we have. We don't have anything else. My father, he used to tell me, he said, baby girl, I'm going to die and you're going to die. But guess what's going to be here? Liberia was here before he got here. Okay. It was existing before he was born. Liberia will be existing after we leave this earth. However, though, one of the things that he used to talk to me about, and I'm glad, he said, but I want to leave a better world. I want to leave a better Liberian. And I'm raising you to make sure that you advocate for a better Liberia. Okay. And that's what we come here on this platform and we speak about having a better country, having a better world, making sure that the future generation of Liberia can benefit from the resources that we now have. Why would state-owned enterprises like the Port Authority, like water and sewer, like the fishery agency, why these companies who, especially the National Port Authority, who told us that they are making money, they were collecting money, why are they not contributing to the national coffer of this country of Liberia? This is an age-old question. An age-old question. So if you are a leader of a country, you guys, I wish I had a way for you guys to answer this question. If you are a leader of a country and you have these agencies that are supposed to contribute to the welfare of the country, the budget of the country, let's say they contribute to the budget of the country, and they do not do so, don't you think you as the leader would question that? Don't you think that you would be mad at those company leaders in whom you appointed? Don't you think you would be calling them, asking what is going on? But we are not getting that from this current government. And I'm sorry to say, you guys, you see what's going on in the country. We are not getting that. Okay. We are only getting, nobody's talking to us, telling us why these SOEs are not contributing. I don't know why. Do you know why? If you know why, then you can let us know. But I don't know why. And I feel like, and you probably feel the same way too, that if these countries were these agencies, I'm sorry, these agencies were contributing to our coffers, to the revenue of our country, we could use that money to help build better schools for the next generation. We could use that money to help build better clinics so that when you get sick, you don't have to plead or go to another country, or plead with other people, ask somebody to send you money and what have you. We will have better and good health care in our country. And so this is what aggravates me. This is what makes me mad about our current government. Now, some people want the best of the country. Some people want to see Liberia thrive. I get that. I can see it. And then, because I have friends in the government, and I know some of my friends are very integrity oriented. They don't like the corruption that I haven't that they don't like the corruption that is occurring in the government. They're fair. But there are others who just want to maintain power and to just use power for their own. They are set in the trappings of government. They enjoy the trappings of being called the boss. They enjoy the trappings of riding $90,000 car. They enjoy the trappings of other people saying yes, sir, to them. They enjoy the trappings of getting paid every month while our people suffer. So this is the issue. This is my issue that I have. I am looking for a Liberia that is just, a Liberia where the court system is well respected, a Liberia where, when I think about the whole issue relating to the anti-rule of law people that's in our House of Representatives, when I think about how many times we had to have a court ruling on something, to me, that was as plain and black and white as day. When I think about how the House rule was violated to elect Speaker Cohn, okay, I think that these are the issues that we're talking about. Some people, when somebody calls themselves a regime speaker, you got to think twice. You have to think twice. Some people are enjoying the trappings of government. Why would the House rules say that you have to vote, and a vote should be in the majority in order to get a new speaker of the House? But then somebody comes in, don't have all the votes, don't have all the numbers, and then they become speaker of our country. And of course, they had to go back and forth to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court eventually said this was antivirus. Okay, but this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how certain people enjoy the privilege and the rights of Liberia. Should it be that way? No. Can it be better? Yes. I want you to just look at people who they look like you and myself, and then they got into government. You just see them, they're looking fat and shiny. I'm not saying that, that says to us that, well, life is going well with them. They're doing well. Things are doing well. And I'm not mocking anyone, but I'm just saying, to me, I can just tell, that perhaps maybe they didn't have it before regularly, and what now they're getting regularly is causing the improvement in their weight, in their facial expression, in the way how they look. So for me, that's a good sign. I look at those signs are telling for me. So let's look. This week, Namath came out with the report, and I want to just put that on the stage as we talk about it. So they basically were giving an assessment of President Buck's arrest agenda. If you're listening to me, you know what the arrest agenda stands for. He talks about agriculture, road, education, uh, uh, tourism. He talked about sanitary. Um, those that was the arrest agenda, and he actually spoke about why he only used one hour instead of 2 hours, but that's another thing. Um, so some people are not talking about this report because they feel like the report is inaccurate and it doesn't reflect the government well. But I'm sorry that I have to beg the question. And the question is for me, Nimot, who put this report, Naymote, Nemo, some people say, who put this report out, has been doing this since I believe for a long time, since Ellen Johnson time. And this very report that Nemo puts out every year on governments have been accepted by some. But today, when we talk about it, when Nemo puts the report out, because it's Joseph Boca's government, because it's the Unity Party's government, they tell us that they do not believe in the report. But Nemo, and we'll talk about this again, is not making a unilateral decision, is not making this report on its own. Nemo is supported, they have international partners, and their report um, goes to international people like Sweden, many of the European countries. The United States get to see this report as well. So if we accepted this report for Nemo in the past, and we know that Nemo has international backing, why are we quick to say now the report is wrong, or this report is not good, or this report is biased against the Joseph Boakai government? This was the very same organization that did its report on Ellen Johnson government, on the CDC government, and we accepted it. But today, Nemo, in some people's eyes, may be playing politics. Do I think that Nemo or Nemot will be accepting international funding to do these reports on different governments and then cook up their books just to please opposition? No, I don't think so. So let me tell you. So Nemo said that the government has only completed 0.8%, less than 1% of all of its project. Okay? In 2 years, President Bokai's government has been in function, and they give us 5 pillars that they were working on when they came in. Under the arrest agenda, they said that they were working on governance and anti-corruption. Okay? They were working on environmental sustainability. They were working on infrastructure development. They were working on human capital development and economic transformation. So, on those 5 things, those 5 pillars, they call them pillars of that is that involves the arrest agenda. So they call that pillars. So we see governance and anti-corruption here, which means that they're going to follow the rule of law. They're going to make sure that the Justice Department work for all. They're going to respect human rights. Those are examples of some of the governance and anti-corruption stance when we think about that, when we look at that. Then environmental sustainability. We have a lot of forests in our country, and I'm just giving you one example of environmental sustainability. They're going to make sure that the carbon production of our forest is well managed. People are not going to abuse it. They're going to look at how the climate change, which we talked about a little bit on the show. Climate change is going to be addressed because it's changing and the farmers are basically suffering because of the planting seasons. We talk about it on the show. So that's what they're going to do. Then it's about infrastructure development. They were going to build roads throughout the country. They're going to build roads from maybe Kipman Road, which is not quite, was never paved, has been paved, never has not been paved for the longest time. They're talking about, we know that the road was paved under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government, and it took us all the way to Ganta, from Monrovia to Ganta. I've been on that road. I know after you pass Ganta, going to Secretary for a little bit, it's not paved. There's parts of the road from Ganta to Sanikole. I think when you stop a certain area, it is not paved. So they talk about, I'm just also talking about it. So they talk about the infrastructure development. Then they talk about human capital development, okay, which basically relates to education. How are we doing with our human beings? Are we making sure that we are concentrating on education? Are we making sure that we're concentrating on health structure? Are people eating? Is our country still ranked one of the poorest country in the world? So those are the things when they talk about human structure development that they're talking about. Then they talk about another pillar is the economic transformation, which the Vice President Kuhn is in agreement with this report. Economic transformation is not being seen by the Liberian people. This is not being seen by Liberians at all. I just want to pause here for a second and just ask Henry and Ansel, if you're watching this show, could you please share the show? And I want to thank all of those who are watching this show. Malvindu Cully asks, how can he join CMC? Henry and Ansel, I hope you're taking Malvindu Cully's note. His question, noting his question. I hope that you will be able to come here and just put the link www.cmclib.com. That is the way that you can go in there to register to be a member of CMC. And so I just wanted to provide that information. If you just joining us, please share the show. I appreciate all of you who are listening to me and also listening to share the show. I was expecting my fellow panelists to join me, but I see that I see Mr. Smith Toby in the back. I don't know if he's ready to come on. I'm gonna bring you on if you are ready to come on. You already on. Sorry, you've been on. I was just basically discussing the NAMOT report. So thank you for joining me, Mr. Toby. I'm looking forward to having a great show. So I'm gonna just finish discussing this, and then I will ask you your opinion about this report. So I've given you these 5 pillars that NAMOT, that the president of Liberia and the government, our current government, the Unity Party government, told the Liberian people that they will be working on. And these pillars are governance and anti-corruption, environmental sustainability, infrastructure development, human capital development, and economic transformation. The report says that they have only completed less than 1% of this report. 0.8 of this report have been, of these pillars have been worked on. There are in progress 43.7 of whatever areas under these pillars that they're working on is in progress. 2 years is still in progress. 20% have not even started yet. They made all of these promises. 20% have not started. And not surprising to me, there's no data. Okay. Just like how we don't get information about important things in our country, like when the country uses 6 point something million to build a peace conference, we don't get any data on it. So 35.4%, there's no data on it. Now, it tells us that when it comes to these five pillars, they tend to be doing, I don't know, if I got 56% in class, 56.7 in class, 55, that is not a passing grade to me. That's failing grade to me. So some people, they want to argue, well, we only got, it's only 2 years. We doing is 50% of the project has been done. 50% or 55, 56, 59 is not good grade to me. 36 is even lower, 35 is even lower. So when we look at the lower side, which is building human capital, it's very low. Okay. And economic transformation is also very low. Now, the key challenges here, they've made intervention. I saw that the public works minister was going around today looking at some of the interventions, I guess the road interventions that they have done. And I'd laugh. Well, they said it's inactive or unverified. That's true. 55% of the intervention, whatever intervention that they've made, is not active of doing that. They will just touch and go and see it, or they couldn't verify it. A lot of the projects are underfunded or in poor condition, or the limited services. And it's true, there's limited services outside Monrovia. They always tell us that Monrovia is not Liberia, and this is a classic case. Some of the areas, we have to say, be fair here. Some of the areas that they've made progress, I think I want to say in quotation, made progress, because I think War and Economic Crime Court office was just set up. I have not seen any progress. There have been some conversation since the Senator Prince Johnson died. That whole conversation on war and economic crime court died as well. They said about 710,000 have been issued biometric ID. That's area of progress. That's progress. Again, you can have your biometric ID to be used at a bank, but you don't have any money in the bank. So that's progress. You got the ID. What do you use the ID for? Remains for us to discuss that. The e-procurement system was launched. I think that's progress. So I'm going to stop here, and then I'll have Mr. Toby come in. And welcome to the show, Mr. Toby. I was just talking about Nemo's report. And some people, my question, okay, Mr. Toby is gone. Okay. Some people, I was going to ask him, and maybe when he come back or wherever he is, he's hearing my question. I want him to address number one. Some people are saying that the report is not accurate. It does not fairly represent the work of this government. So I wanted you to speak about that. And as I wait for you to come back in, I am going to read. I'm Cleta Glameta. I'm Galimeta. I'm sure one day you will tell me how to pronounce your name. You are watching tonight from Chica Town. I want to just tell you thank you for always watching and supporting us. And of course, we ask all of you who are supporting us to just chime in, type in your comments, questions, your thoughts. It will be highly appreciated. So I see that Mr. Toby left for whatever reason. I was going to go to him, but I was just uh, explaining the NAMOT report to you. As you can see on the screen, this is what we have. I was just going to say let's talk about the key areas of challenges. Um, when the people say that these interventions are inactive or unverified, what NEMO is trying to tell us that if you say that you're going to fix roads in our country, I'm just using an example, and you build these roads, but you don't put proper signs on the road, you intervene, maybe you build a road, you saw that maybe this place needed to have a road, but was it built properly? Was your intervention active enough where you are constantly going back to check to make sure that you're putting proper signs, that you put markings on the road? For example, in the middle of the road there's markings there. That's what they mean, that 55% of the intervention was inactive or unverified. Now when I look at this, if this came across my desk as a leader, I will not be happy at all, because I am seeing 56.9, 56.7, 55.3, 36.7, 35%. I don't think these are markings that anyone will be happy about. And rightfully so, we also saw some of these highlights that I'm telling you, human capital development and economic transformation. They were also highlighted. One of the reasons why we got low markings on our MCC score was because these areas of human capital development, the girls' education, were low. Economic transformation, I spoke about that earlier. When when we can see the country and not find work for our people, when our people are still suffering, when our people are unable to be able to get money on their own, when they can't go to work for honest pay, when our students go to school and they are not having adequate space or desk to sit in, when the teachers are not being paid to educate our students, when the LU students have to protest by painting their building red because we have mold on the building, and for so long they have been trying to get an education in an unconducive environment. That is what these low marks about building our human capital is about. It's about the people of Liberia. It's about making sure that we focus on girls' education, maternal health. I find no reason why a pregnant woman will not be seen regularly by her doctor to make sure that the next generation that she's bringing into Liberia is healthy and strong. I find no reason why this is not happening when we have the money in our country. I find no reason why we should hold pregnant women hostage in our country. Hostage in our country. When they have the baby, there was a time that I had to contribute financially to making sure that the bills are paid so that they can go home. Imagine your early beginning of life is spent in a hospital simply because your mother could not afford to pay your fees for discharge, your discharge fee. I find no reason why, and Mr. Toby, welcome back. Um, I was asking you a question. I'm sure you heard my question. I was
No, I
just telling,
didn't.
I'm sorry, you didn't?
I didn't get the question.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you, first of all, a lot of people are looking at the NAMOD's report. which basically says the president media report 2025. How did he do in 2025? People are not believing this report. Now, first of all, want to know your thoughts about them not believing the report. I'm going to just go ahead and talk. I'm going to just take a break for a second while you go ahead and explain. I just have the report up here, so you want me to take it down, or you can what do you want to do?
Well, well, I think you've explained a lot, but again, let me say thank you for holding on the show. You've been sitting as a lone presenter tonight, but the situation of us in Liberia is that we always want to treat report of such as a strange instrument. For people who follow Liberian politics, we all should be in the know that it is not just the voices of the opposition political actors in our country that you expect to hear or you expect to come out to checkmate the government. And there are other actors in other places. They are also scrutinizing the government in terms of the workings and the activities around the governance of the country. Sometimes there are reports coming from the international community that are making contribution to the growth of our country. There are others who are on the far. They are also following the day-to-day activities of the country, whether it is about rule of law, it is about good governance, gender issue. So they are also in their own space and following the government. So we've been reading different accounts from different institutions about government of the country. It is not just the Unity Party-led administration of President Barkai, but there has been several other reports coming in, even from the State Department. But the way the government of the day intend to accept the report or treat it as a guide is what matters. Most often these reports, whether it is coming from the State House, the government of the day will not take it in good faith, or the supporters of the government will not see it as an instrument, as another eye that is watching what's going on around the governance of the country. People think that when they are in government, that means everything that they are involved with or are doing are right. And they wouldn't want to take criticism as a means of helping them to understand that even though they are working or they are performing, but there are also lapses that are to be brought to their attention. So they go about to treat others' effort as trash. They wouldn't want to take it to say, okay, since we are watching or we are working and we are not watching exactly what we are doing, there are others out there who are paying attention to the work that we are doing. And in their quest, they are telling us things that we are doing and things that we ought to do, or things that we promise to do that we are yet to touch. So for example, the Nemo conversation, Nemo is not a strange institution. Nemo been around for a very good time now. There's been Nemo report under the Ellen Johnson administration of the Unity Party. They've been working and checkmating government and even checkmating lawmakers' operation in some of the districts. I remember there was just one report out with NIMO that also aggravated Representative Meman Briggs Menza on some promises that she made to her district, specifically in the Salala area. She did not see the report as a means of reawakening on some of the promises that she made, but she rather became offensive to that report. But at the end of the day, those things that NIMO were pointing out from the district were things that they've gone on the grounds, they spoke to the people, they've gotten feedback, they've seen those projects not touched. Even if it was being touched, it's been left without it being completed. So they compared those reports, and when they release the report, people will take offense to the report. So the situation with the NIMO report on the current Unity Party administration, I'm still thinking as to why those who are not believing the report seem to not believe it the way they see it. The fact of the matter is that the government has made a lot of promises in terms of the things they set up to do in their own operation under the arrest agenda or under their framework. Whether it was about agriculture, rule of law, education, sanitation, tourism, and what have you, were those things that they set up to do. But did the government tell us that they would do 10% in the first 1 year, 20% in the second year, 30% in the third year, and down the line they will break it down by percentages and get everything done at the end of the 6 years? Or is NIMO saying to us that they expect the government to do all of what they mentioned in terms of the project that they were to be done in the first 2 years of the administration? I'm not sure that is what this report is pointing out. The report is only highlighting and reminding the government, and I'm sure the government should take this in good faith, that you've made a lot of promises. You promised to make intervention in places. But Mr. President and your administration, if you promise to do 378 projects, we are only reminding you that we are checking on you, and based on what we found out, you've done only 0.8% of all of the projects you promise. And it is a reminder that you ought to do more because you are in your third year. And the government should not treat the NIMO report like they haven't seen a NIMO report. I remember when the CDC was in power, there were several other reports for NIMO. And the same administration that is not believing what NIMO is writing today were taking those reports and scrutinizing the report, and they were using the report to checkmate the WIA administration. So if the NIMO report were a genuine report on yesterday, why is it not genuine today? Why is it a report now that people seem to not believe? I think the difference in the NIMO report, this is the very first time that they detailed the report in category, and they given percentages to interventions and work done. They've done several reports, even on the national legislature, that is on the docket, is on file, is in people archives. So people should stop treating the report as a death sentence. I think that they should rather take it as a reminder that you promised to make intervention in agriculture. You promised to do the roads. We're seeing you do intervention. Rule of law, you promised to work in that direction. Education, sanitation, tourism, and all other aspects that you outlined to the Liberian people. So if all of what you said, you've managed to do just 2 of it in 2 years, it is a reminder that the government is moving on a snail pace. NEMO is only reminding them that they are to speed up if they are to achieve their own agenda, because NEMO is not self-sponsored. It is an international funded organization. I'm not sure the funders of NEMO will want to waste the cash on people who will write trash, no substance, all because they are civil society organization. NEMO has people spraying in the counties. They are counter checking. They are going on the roads. They're seeing the development in the counties, in the district, and in every sector the government has promised. So those who are not believing the report should in turn take it, because it is not possible to do all of what they promised in the first 2 years, and which should be their reliance for discussion. Because in those places that they are making intervention, where they make some mark, it means that they've started doing something. And that should be a reminder that, yes, you've done some intervention in 165 places, or 165 intervention, which represent 43.7% of your ongoing activities. You are being reminded that chief government, out of 378 intervention that you talk about, our online honor your activities, you are making intervention in some, and some of it we are not sure you're doing anything about it. So as we remind you, take our reminder update, because you are entering your 3rd year. Monday, the president should be giving us his annual report. We expect to hear the level of work they've done in every sector of our country, because at this stage, all of the government ministries and agencies have reported. Those who are responsible to compile the president's annual message have done that. The president should be rehearsing his message to the Liberian people, but now, this night, this day, moving forward, because it is voluminous, and he ought to do a summary report to the Liberian people through their direct representatives, the House of Representatives and the Liberian Senate. So we expect that NEMO have struck ahead, anticipating that the government will look at this report in good faith and not criticize it, not condemn it, not trash it. The supporters should not condemn it. They should not trash it. And they should not take it as an opposition political party criticizing the government, because this same report in different form was accepted by the Unity Party in opposition, and they outlined the failure of the CDC. This same report have come against lawmakers, who have failed to perform. NEMO is not just reporting on the executive; they are reporting on the judiciary, they are reporting on the Liberian Senate, they are reporting on the House of Representatives. That is where those who are funding them are putting the resources, and they believe in the credibility of NEMO. So, when I hear people attempting not to believe what the report said, maybe the party loyalist knows it, but I'm sure President Boakai, the Amos Toe, the Mo Ali, and other people who took the same report when it was issued against other administration, and talked about it and ran with it and went into the report, read the report, and took it as a gospel should not turn the back on the report. For me, it is not a bad report. It is just a call to reawaken, the snippets as to the way they are approaching what the promise of Liberian people. We are in the third year. As we end this year, we would not be talking about the strength of the Unity Party anymore. When the Unity Party reaches 4 year, we'll already be in election year. The next 2 years, we'll be looking at what they've done finally, and everyone else now. But then they should have seen and decided where the government have done well, and it is not going to be about a report from Nemo anymore. It's going to be about what people have seen physically out on the roads, where they said no car will hitch in the mud and vehicle are still hitching in the mud, where they said they will improve, the economy. People are struggling in the economy, where we are still talking about challenges in some of the sectors. So those who are criticizing the report should not rather criticize it, because they criticized other report from other administration yesterday from the same institution. So I just thought, to clear the doubt that NEMO is not a today's organization. It is not an institution that was birthed yesterday. It's been around early in administration. We had administration. Now it's in the Buakai's administration. They may stay here for another administrations to come, maybe the CMC administration, and they will move on with the work. They've been funded by people, resources from other countries. So let us take the report, let them take it. No matter how harsh it is on them, it is not a report that serves as a death sentence, because they got a few more years to go. But to tell us that Nemo is lying, that means they should tell us that they've done all of what they promised. Because Nemo is only telling you that you haven't done A, B, C, and D. You've made an intervention at point A, point B, point C. You ought to step up your game, take it in good faith, and work towards your lapses. Is going to help you then to criticize the work of a credible institution. I want to stop here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Tobe, for points made. Liberians who are listening to us, they will understand the essence of the report. But I wanted to ask you a question, and my question is, why do you think that this Unity Party government, who in the past appreciated uh, Nemo's report, they used it, to highlight some of the shortcomings of the WIA government. Now they are in power. Why do you think that they want to trash the report, as opposed to looking at it, as you said, that as something that will strengthen them, as opposed to looking at it as something that is good for them? So, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think those overzealous partisans who have seen nothing wrong with the administration will do that. But those who understand the the government, those who did similar act to other administration, wouldn't dare come out to uprightly condemn this report, because the writer and the owner of the institution has been around. He's been around for a very long time. He's cut across every sector of our country. So, you know, it is not just a report from Nemo. Even if the US State Department posts out a report today and talk about human rights, we're all seeing the human rights violation here. If the US State Department comes out with a report and talk about rape that have increased in our country over the years, the number of rape cases, has not decreased. It continued to increase. People are now being solemnized. People, if a US State Department puts out a report yesterday and it was against the CDC administration, this administration that is in power today took that report. They scrutinized the report. They talk about it. they took it as, as a walking instrument to checkmate the government in terms of the report that came from the U.S. State Department. The same U.S. State Department has put a report here, and this government have come out to say, no, that is not what they are doing. So I don't know why they are thin-skinned. You should put up, a tough skin to accept criticism because you criticize others. So if you took the U.S. State Department report on human rights violation under the Weir administration, if you took the State Department report, for example, on rape or on the judiciary or on the justice system of our country, and they say we need to improve on it. Right now, we're talking about immigrant visa seizure. When orders were being placed on sanction here, it was almost like a music to the ear. Everyone talked about, even today, they still being referenced in our politics. But today, people want to defend whatever the USA as not a bad thing, and we should not compare that to people being placed on sanction. Nobody will take immigrant visa and process a seizures for now to be people being placed on sanction. No, those are not the same, two different things. But if the opposition decide to talk about it, the defense they put out is that other people were placed on sanction in the last administration. For us, it's a process that is being stored for scrutiny. And everyone knows it is not a process affecting just us as a country. It includes other countries around the world. But people will not normally take kind to criticism. And I think some people in the current administration, they want to rubbish everything that is not their way. And if they were taking these reports and reading them over and again and taking it as an instrument to put them on track, we wouldn't be hearing what we are hearing. And like I said, I don't know the reason why they want to condemn the report. They should not be condemning these kind of report that the raising. Even the people in the opposition, I'm not sure they expect that the government was going to do all of the 378 projects in 2 years. So if we picking on the notes for the sake of the conversation and the politics of the day, and we should just keep reminding the government that yes, you promised that you will do this, and you just how the opposition will always want to checkmate the government, even though they will not take the opposition as a serious discussant, because they think that because people in opposition, when you checkmate the government, that means you want to criticize the government. But the same thing the opposition talked about, the NGOs are talking about, the civil society are talking about it. So it is not a one-man thing. It is a societal thing that everyone else out there may have seen, and people are taking note of it. So if they did that yesterday, they should not turn the back on it today, because it's going to come after them, because it is a societal path. If you condemn me for sitting here today for talking, and you get here in the same seat and talk the things you said I said yesterday that did not sound good to the ears, and come and repeat the same thing, somebody will also come and say, no, you said that against Mr. Tobe yesterday. Why are you coming now to say the same thing he said yesterday? Somebody else will come to also checkmate you. So that's how it is, and they should not take it like people are after them. They want to now put Eddie Jawuro and his team in the opposition pocket and say, oh, Eddie Jawuro. No, Eddie Jawuro and his Nemo team are not opposition people. They've done that for you when you were in opposition, because you used their work to criticize others. So he's put up his work. He even improved on the start of his work for the very first time. Now we're using that same instrument that you took yesterday to condemn others' work, to check you and say, no, you promised us this and you haven't done this. Let us not trust the report.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tope. Before we move on, I I wanted to just state uh, this government got the lowest grade, 36.7 in human capital development, and they got 35% in, which was the lowest, in economic transformation. Um, do you think that this grade that the Unity Party receive accurately reflect what is going on in a country in terms of human capital development and economic transformation? I also want to say that they got 56.9, 56.7, and 57, 55.3 in other areas such as governance and corruption, environmental stability, and infrastructure development. And I want to say that yes, Mr. Tubby was right when he said that we don't expect in 2 years for the government to get everything right, and for whatever they told the Liberian people that they were going to accomplish, to make sure that they have 100% in accomplishment. But at the same time, to have 0.8% of their projects completed, okay, which means that less than 1% of all of the things that they told us, the promises, the out of the 378 projects that they said that they were going to complete for the Liberian people, they have only done 0.8%, and they are working on 40, the ones that they are working on is only 43.7%. So I want to state that yes, they are working and they're moving on in the government, but to me, Mr. Tubi, it is not fast enough for the Liberian people. And when we look at the amount of resources and the amount of money that we're getting currently in our country versus the way our country looks, it's not adding up to me. Something is not adding up to me. Well, corruption is not adding up to me. People, to me, are using the money inappropriately. Okay. And that inappropriately could mean to me now, and I'm speaking in my name, that there could be maybe, like when I speak of them building the FOIA project, I think that was a misapplication of public funds. Okay. When I think about other areas that, like when I think about people that are just recently building big houses, the president's $90,000 car, let me just even put that out there. Okay, I think there could have been better ways of spending our money, and that would be better ways of working towards the Liberian people in terms of healthcare and education. So I wanted to, and I'm going back to my original question. I just wanted to put that out. 36%, 36.7% on human capital, 35% on economic transformation. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking about those things? That's where they got the lowest. Do you think that, we know that the report is right, but is it reflective of what is happening in the country?
One thing the writers of the report have done their research, and human capital in our country, it is not under the carpet. It is something visible. Uh, it is something that we all see. The way the situation around the economy seem to be progressing. Even the child who's waking up in the morning knows it. He knows very well when there's a good economy, even the poor of the poorest will have breakfast, even if it is a piece of donut or coconut or something to munch on in the morning before he gets to school. And when he returns from school, he expects that he will find something to eat. So even the one square meal a day, sometimes it's coming late, sometimes it's nowhere to be found. It tells you how the country seem to be going. Others will afford it, Others may not afford it. There's no job. Few persons. The government is the highest employer. There's no company in the country. Few money. Uh, Company taking away our resources. Few Liberians are being contracted to work at those places. So the writers of the report, we may have gone to all of the places in the promise of this administration, and they've seen it, and they've attributed some of what they reported to the slow progress or weak planning of the administration. Resource mobilization is also another issue. How is the government going about mobilizing resources to handle those constraints? There is a serious coordination failure that also working within the government. Transparency is another issue, and that is hampering the progress of the government. You just talk about how people seem to prioritize the usage of taxpayers' money. People are trying to settle their life first before they think about the Liberian people. Most of the guys who are in this current administration were people who were in government 12 years, some of them 6 years of the Ellen's administration. They did not plot a map before we say you use the old map to plot the new one. But these are the current bourgeoisies. These are the current, big guys in town. Because the mistake that they made in the 12 years, they are opting to correct that mistake. The first thing to do, or they've done in these 2 years, is all about them. Refurbish their homes, build new homes that they did not build in the 12 years of the United Party on Ellen's administration, because they work in those administrations, and they saw it. Some of them were schooling, but they were still having something to do, like the Senator Nyan Toyin. These are the Ellen boys, the Moali, the Amos Toy. These were the guys who were in the Unity Party, but they were coming up in the 12 years, so they were being nurtured under the Ellen's administration. The Amara Conan, who came with this whole RT situation, he introduced it to Liberia, because when he came, that is when Liberians started to know about the RT and all sort of different things. So they've all been around the system, they've all been around the Unity Party. So what people are reporting, these are not strange report, because it is visible. Human capital, that if you walk around the city and you go to places, people are just sitting, except for those who wake up in the morning, go to the late market, center, and sometimes they sit there all day. Some of them leave with absolutely nothing. So how can NIMO will fail to capture a NIMO? You're going to read a report without referencing human capital development. That report could be considered flawed, because what NIMO captured in the report are the day-to-day reliance of what Liberians are going through. So the report is not fabricated. They did not fabricate the report. They are putting in the genuineness of what affecting the Liberian people. And like I said, this administration has eyes. They should see it as an instrument that they can work on in the third year to correct. Because Liberians are equally taking note. If individual Liberians will start to compare what they are going through, some of the report will be more dirty than the NIMO report. If people start to tell you how they feel about this administration, the hardship, the things they experience, the human rights issue, the police brutality, and different things, the justice issue, the rape cases that has increased instead of decreasing rape, even though rape is a non-bailable offense. But how come it continued to increase in our country while the lawyers are pleading on behalf of people who are going to have committed a crime that is not non-bailable? How can they get defense counsel? What is the rationale if drugs is also a crime in our country? Why are lawyers pleading on behalf of people who have been caught with the drugs? What 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 is the rationale if you are caught red-handed with 2 million pieces of tramadol that the government say is prohibited? Why bring lawyer Bene in that one? What right is now there for someone to go and say we are defending this person if the state the crime it is a crime against the state? So why are we having people in our jurisprudence defending a person who commit crimes against the state, and we say the person is presumed innocent until found guilty? If your house is caught with substance that the government says should not enter the country, and you bring it in your country, they will carry you to court. Then the lawyers follow you to the court. What are they defending at that point in time? Instead of you going to jail, people will play around. All sort of things will happen. Sometimes that same person gets free in the process. So it's a whole thing that the society sees. And if Nemo can muster the courage to say, yes, human capital, the economy, these are the living reality here in the country. The report is not fabricated. It is actual, it is factual, and it is something that I continue to say, we should take in good faith, because what the writers and researchers did to this report, they did not go to cyberspace to go and write them. They, they may have spoken to people, they may have gone to the communities, they've seen it in the street, they've gone to construction area, they saw how many persons they're working, how many they're not working, and all of those things cumulated into what we are reading today from Nimrod. If there's another report from another civil society organization, you will see a repeat of some of what Nimrod have reported. But again, most of our civil society organizations now are working with the hands in the pocket. Apparently, they are not getting funding, or they are good friends to the government. So the brave ones will checkmate the government.
Yes, thank you. We before we switch on to our CMC news, I also want to just state that if this government, the Unity Party government, was presenting a plan to Liberian people, at least speaking to the Liberian people about the plan that they have to address the areas in which Yimos told them about, and the area in which they score low scores in, human capital development, economic transformation, and of course the other areas are the corruption and anti-corruption are very, very important. But my issue is, and this is where until this government um, change or take these reports seriously, is about communicating with the Liberian people. You don't sit down and take the report and trash it and say that and say that, oh, this is an opposition report, and we don't even know how you plan on developing our country. Let me remind the Liberian people that this president, the leader of the United Party, never even was in a debate. He was not in a debate. He only came, and the only time he speaks to the Liberian people is during the State of the Nation, when he gives these speeches. And, it is up to us Liberians then to also explore to what extent, as Nemo has done, these things are materializing in our country. So we're going to move on to, I'm in for just speaking, showing us a plan. If you say you're going to develop roads, I saw today, I didn't have an opportunity to really go on the internet as much, but I was just going through and I saw they said that the public works minister was going to check out some of the projects And I was looking at the projects, and I was saying, even a blind man can see those projects needed significant intervention. Is it an intervention to go and just check on, if you say you're building road in Douala Market? Is it? It is. Well, I guess it's an intervention that somebody can check and say, okay, I'm just going to go look at the roads. But the roads still need lots of things: drainage system, signs to be put on the roads. You need to keep the road, sweep the road, to maintain the road, to make it look great. And that's the conversation that we should be having when we talk about transforming our country. But we don't have that conversation. So this is why the Liberian people are asking questions and are talking about this government. My question to you, I'm going to show you. I showed this earlier, and maybe you can speak to us about this, because you one of the person who have information about the PL. You are in the communication department, and so I'm under the impression that you have information about his travels. Or so we saw him leaving the Liberian airport today. I'm going to show this, and then we're going to lastly end up with something you talked about briefly yesterday to us. You can tell us where where he's going. He's leaving the Liberian airport. Let me just play it. I don't know why the thing is not coming on. Oh. Okay, there you have it, Mr. Toby, our political leader of the CMC, Mr. Musa Hassan Bilate, is leaving. He's at the airport. Where is he going? What are your thoughts? What do you know? You want to share with Liberian people if you know anything?
So as part of the engagement of the CMC, we are not just sitting here in our space and feeling comfortable and allowing complacency to sit in as a political party. We are aware that 2026 is a very serious year for the party. And to achieve that is to continue our move in and out of Liberia. Our political leader is currently in cyberspace this night, and he's responding to an invitation to be a part of an occasion that is expected to take place this weekend in the United States of America. I'm sure that some members of our team will be receiving him by early morning their time or sometime tomorrow to form a part of their delegation. I'm told there is a gathering of some very prominent leaders and individuals marking the historic event of the late Martin Luther King. There's assembly that will take place in the United States. So based on the invitation extended to our political leader, he's decided to honor that as an opportunity to also meet others, dignitaries and high-profile individuals that are expected to grace that occasion. That is our way of wanting to open as many doors as possible and interact with people of different belief around the world. When you have been recognized as a major player in your country and as a serious political actor, this invitation comes your way. And it is left with you to leverage these opportunities. So the political leader of the CMC will be out of Liberia for the next few days. We are concluding our plan for the trip to the southeast. He ought to return in time to form a part of our tour to the southeast. As of Monday, we should be able to release our itinerary for the southeast, beginning with the towns and villages and the projects that we will be breaking grounds for as we drive into Zoeju or from the border entering Granjide, places we will stop, time we will spend, and the activities of the political leader upon his return. We are also preparing as a party to host our leadership gathering sometime very soon, where all of the party hierarchies, the leaders of the party, the decision makers will sit and now try to put to work what we've planned for the year 2026 while we hit the road. So yes, there is a lot um, taking place. Remember that we've made a lot of commitment as well to communities and people around the country, and to make sure that those commitment work is to allow our PL to make as many rounds as possible, meet people and sell his ideas. And we want to appreciate those who reach out to the CMC with the invitation to allow our political leader to form a part. I know for sure you will accompany the PL on that at that event.
Yes.
I expect that Vic will also join you tomorrow. That is why she's not on set tonight. She either flying tonight or driving towards your end,
Yes.
and then the both of you will accompany our political leader. So it's going to be a wonderful experience for the both of you as well. You'll be meeting new friends. Not the basketball items,
Yes.
but it's going to be a wonderful interaction to go out with your political leader. He's going to be introducing the both of you proudly as head of our team in the United States, connecting you, leaving the rest of the work for you to follow up. So we hope you are prepared as well to accompany him. And all we can say that we wish all of you well. But yes, we saw him today. He's departed. He's flying this night, and we wish him safe flight. And we'll be watching his arrival on tomorrow and following up with activities in the US. And we'll be expecting him to return after that event so that we can get the job done on the ground, because we got a lot to do here in the coming days ahead. So as per your question, I just thought to inform the public as to what they saw today. And it is not a very long trip, by the way. It's just a few days. He ought to be back to section, and a lot more seem to be happening. And he wouldn't want to miss out on the active politics of his district and the national legislature. So he's taking a few days off to honor a very special invitation.
Thank you. Well said. Definitely, I'll be accompanying the political leader along with the USA Chair, Madam Vicky Santolo Zulu, who will be attending the Martin Luther King's dinner. It is a dinner that is held every year. I understand that it started since 1988 and has been going on for this long. And this is where the likes of so many visionary leaders of the United States and the world gather to discuss, politics and also the progress that they can contribute to the world. So I want to close up with, we have 5 more minutes. You talked about this to us. I think it was on Tuesday. We had a discussion about, you guys went into District 17 and you met with a group of women. And I want to show the actions of these women. I want to emphasize that women in Liberia make up about 50% of the population. Women in Liberia are very instrumental to the development of our country. I want you to just take a look and you see how these women were, carrying on, and to also show to you and to them and to the world that yes, Liberian women cannot be overlooked in the body politics of Liberia. So here we go. Wow. Mr. Toby, I am elated. I am moved. Um, I just get so emotional when I just see those women and what they are doing in that district. So we have about 2 more minutes to close, and I just want you to just again just reflect on your experience there yesterday. And I'm going to play this more and more because those women represent power and change for me, for our country, Liberia.
Yeah, I think like you are aware, the CMC, this our strength comes from the women. That is why you and the likes of others have been taxed to make sure that this institution remain vibrant. We are drinking from the wisdom of all of the women in the CMC, no matter the height. But once you are a female within our political space, you are given a very high respect. Our political leader um, takes the issue about women very close to his heart, and his women empowerment issue. It's not that he's taking advantage of the men, but women are very committed set of people. If you if the women said they will tar the lapots for you, they will lay down the life for you, they value what you stand for, they will do that without wetting the tongues. It is not like the men, it's not that we are betrayers, but our trust can be thwarted as easy as compared to that of the women. So we are working with all Liberians, but we are working more with the women, and to see a group of women, National Women's Alliance Movement in District 17. The uniqueness of that group you saw is that, bulk of the people that came from Grand Cape Mount, Bomi, and Bapulu are the ones that are situated across in that District 17. And District 17 is I'm sure, the biggest electoral district in Mosurado. And to find women of that number, if those women decide to convince their men, which of course they carry the capacity to do, you have times two of that number. If they decide to encourage their daughters and they decide to bring their sons, if through the CMC, the husband sees his wife active, sees the economy improving through empowerment, and his child is being sent to school, and that child is of voting age, the hands that feed you, you will not bite it. And so the CMC is moving strong in that district. And that is why the political leader thought to make use of that opportunity. Those women have given their word. They come from Bombing, they come from Cape Mount, they come from Bapolu, but they are all situated in Mosurado. It tells you that they hold the capacity to go back to the towns and villages in time to come to talk about the goodness of the CMC. And they brought the challenges, they brought the issues to the table. Those issues has been planned to be addressed between now and 2027. Like I said the other day, the women, they will be connected with our First Lady, the wife of Mr. Ability. She's working with other women group. So they will be under her supervision. They're about to do them a center where they will have the opportunity to learn, get some empowerment along the way. They ask for the breaches to be fixed. We say we'll do them in priority, in the line of priority. 3 breaches in the district that have affected them so hard. We've committed to doing that. And we've committed to building their capacity. So it is the party that they see as the friend. It is the party that they see as a party that will take them from the trench or the trenches and make them to look good again. So it was a great opportunity. And the organizer, they come from different community. And you wouldn't see confusion in the mix. They look very united, very organized. And it was a privilege for us to be there celebrating with them.
Good. So we will continue to speak about them. I will continue to bring this video to you because I'm just so impressed by the movement. I listened to the whole video to what they were saying and to what we heard. The growth progress is from Mr. Toby. So I want to thank all of you for joining us. Special thanks go to those who are in the radio land as well, listening to us. And I'm reading on the comment section as well. Leo Sisse, yes, thank you for joining us. And we are not leaving the men behind. Our party is a very inclusive political party. We appreciate the contribution of men and women, but we know that for so long around the world, and particularly in Liberia, women have not been included in the makeup of good governments, or the makeup of, our economic functioning in the country. Although we know that women are the farmers in our country, they are a backbone of our economy, but they just have not been included. And our country make up at least 50% of women and 50% of men. But anyway, thank you for joining us. For all of those who are joined us today, we appreciate you being here. And we'll see you. Well, I won't be seeing you tomorrow because obviously I'll be gone. I'm looking forward to Mr. Toby and others to carry the show on. But yes, tomorrow I'll be at the program. So see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye-bye.
CMC, for the people, by the people, and to the people. Citizens movement for change. Oh yes, a new day has come. Yes, a new day has come. Rise up, Liberia. CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better life. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better life. Equity, national unity, transparency, accountability, social justice, integrity. CMC core values. CMC Global. It is a new day for Liberia. It is a new day for the people. Let's hold together. Let's hold together. It's a unity. It's a man. CMC. The land of liberty, the land of freedom, the love of liberty brought us together. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, yes, by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC, yes, for the people. CMC, yes, by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, yes, 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 the time has come.